Let us talk about a super controversial topic today, governance. Some people say that on-chain governance in Cosmos is a feature, others claim it's a bug. Critics claim that because of too much on-chain governance, the ecosystem develops too slowly. Others defend the democratic principles of the Cosmos ecosystem. But who is right, and do we need to fix governance in Cosmos? This is what we will discuss today.
Don't worry, we are friends.
Before we get started though, welcome to the FRENS Validator YouTube channel. I'm Juri Maybaum, co-founder of FRENS Validator, and we believe that by 2030, 90% of all financial transactions will be executed on top of proof-of-stake chains. On this channel, you will learn how to profit from the proof-of-stake run-up, how to make a passive income in crypto with staking, and how to stay ahead of the curve. If this sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So is governance in Cosmos beneficial or net negative for the expansion of the Cosmos ecosystem? Before we dive deeper into that, let us first elaborate what governance essentially is and how it works in other ecosystems. Cosmos governance gives community members like you and me voting rights. By holding a Cosmos coin, let's say Atom, you have a say in the Cosmos Hub's development. On a forum, technical changes and funding initiatives are being discussed. If a proposal becomes more concrete, it gets submitted to the hub, aka it goes on chain and can't get changed or adjusted anymore. When voting, Atom holders can either vote with yes, no, no with veto, or abstain. What it means to vote with yes, no, or abstain is pretty obvious, but what does it mean to vote no with veto? No with veto means that you are extremely against this proposal and eventually would decide to leave the Cosmos ecosystem if this proposal passes. Moreover, you argue that this proposal also represents a certain risk to the entire Cosmos ecosystem. Generally, the more tokens you hold in stake, the more powerful your vote is. Say I have 100 atoms staked and you only have 1 atom staked. My voting power is therefore 100 times higher than yours, aka the more skin in the game you have, the more powerful your vote is. We validators generally have a pretty strong voting power since people delegate their coins to us. Say you're delegating with friends. A governance proposal goes live on the Cosmos Hub and you don't vote, but we do. In that scenario, we sort of vote for you. That said, you could argue that validators also function as sort of political parties in the Cosmos ecosystem since they eventually represent their community members. However, you can overvote your validator's vote with your individual vote. Say you vote yes on a governance proposal while the validator you stake with votes no. Your yes vote is being taken into account and the validator's voting power decreases slightly. As you can see, the Cosmos community is very involved in on-chain governance and the development of Cosmos chains. The community votes on technical changes, funding initiatives, and more. But how is this done in other ecosystems? In other ecosystems, foundations direct the strategy of the underlying blockchain. On Avalanche, for example, there is no on-chain governance for community members whatsoever. And in the Ethereum world, most of the strategic decisions are being made directly by the Ethereum Foundation. In Cosmos, we also have a foundation, the Interchain Foundation. The Interchain Foundation primarily works on the expansion and development of the general Cosmos ecosystem. Still, most of the technical, strategic, and monetary decisions are being made by the broader community, making Cosmos's governance more direct and democratic. So, this is what we deal with here. And now the question is this net positive or negative? Let us start with the advantages. Of course, the Cosmos is the most inclusive and democratic ecosystem of them all. No matter what chain we are talking about here, let it be the Cosmos Hub, Osmosis, Juno, or FMOS, the community is always involved and can have a huge impact. Cosmos takes its democratic principles very seriously. This also ensures decentralization to a certain point, since individuals within the foundations will never have enough power to rule the development of each chain on their own. Let's take Ethereum as an example. Even though I admire the Ethereum ecosystem and its founder Vitalik Buterin a lot, for me it feels like it that no matter what Vitalik says is the law. I don't know if you've ever attended an Ethereum conference where Vitalik spoke, but I have visited one. And when he entered the stage, you really felt like an infallible person is about to speak here that everyone admires. Do we have the same thing in Cosmos? Hell no. When Atom 2.0 was proposed, supported by the Cosmos co-founder Ethan Buchman, the community rejected this proposal. Moreover, some validators even voted with no with veto on this proposal. Unimaginable in the Ethereum ecosystem. So yes, Cosmos is very decentralized and democratic from a governance standpoint, which is of course a good thing. But it also has its disadvantages. I've recently recorded a live stream with my Cosmoverse co-founder Cryptocito, and he argues that Cosmos governance at its current stage is overrated.
Cosmos governance, very short. My thoughts in general, severely overrated as of right now. And what do I mean by that? I mean that the Cosmos Hub community is discussing a lot of proposals, but I think there's also a lot of discussions that are leading nowhere. There's a lot of drama that comes out of it. And there's also a lot of debating about things that we as a community should rather leverage some synergies and not try to slow down development, right? And sure, it's always great to be a little bit skeptic. It's always great to be rather conservative, but we also have to admit, and we have to recognize that crypto is a very fast-moving industry. The competition is not sleeping, right? So I did my research recently on Avalanche and Cardano, for example. Very big ecosystems, very strong brand awareness and recognition. They do not even have an on-chain governance framework. So they don't have any governance, right? And I think in Cosmos, we have a little bit of like too much governance in the sense that there's so many discussions. And I guess like no one in Cosmos right now is up to date with every single proposal, not even on the Cosmos Hub, right? It's just impossible. Like the amount of conversations, discussions, forum entries, back and forth, YouTube channels, Twitter spaces, right? It's just like time-wise impossible to stay up to date. So Cosmos governance needs to improve. It needs to get slimmer in my opinion. It needs to be more lean. Again, the competition doesn't sleep, and there is certain things that the Cosmos Hub especially needs to move faster when it comes to business development, attracting new developers, and just growing the community. So
in a nutshell, critics claim that too many cooks spoil the broth, and I agree with that. I mean, community involvement is a good thing, but it shall not slow down crucial developments. A perfect example for that is Governance Proposal 69, which aimed to implement CosmWasm to the Cosmos Hub. The core developers and engineers, i.e. Jack Zampolin, Zeki Manian, or Billy Rennekamp, were all in favor for this proposal. However, all of a sudden, the lost Cosmos co-founder Jay Kwon appeared out of nowhere and promised everyone a no airdrop when voting no with veto on this proposal. He literally bribed the voters, and guess what happened? The community rejected this proposal. The other problem is that we see governance proposals on the Cosmos Hub where I really ask myself if something like this belongs on the Cosmos Hub. Cosmic Validator asked in Governance Proposal 89 for compensation for their Cosmos news videos. But does the whole community really need to vote on this? The problem was that people were fighting on Twitter because of this. The motto was, why is XYZ getting this and I don't get anything? I fear that proposals like this not only spam the hub, but also create more toxicity in the Cosmos ecosystem. While other ecosystems like Avalanche, Polkadot and Co. push their next developmental steps forward, we sometimes discuss whether we should fund a video production series, publicly and on-chain. Also, people who bring up a governance proposal need to expect a lot of hate. And this is why many people do not dare to bring up their governance proposal even though they have a very cool product idea. They just fear the toxicity of the community. And this means that we often miss out on promising opportunities. In a nutshell, involving the community in on-chain governance is generally a good thing. However, it shall not get too extreme. If the core developers of the Cosmos Hub who spent the last years on bringing the Cosmos Hub where it is today and truly believe that a certain upgrade is needed, we should not hesitate to follow their lead. Of course, I'm talking about Governance Proposal 69 here. Most likely, the core developers of the Cosmos Hub know much better how secure CosmWasm is or not than most of us do. Again, too many cooks spoil the broth. Besides that, most of the time, the majority only engages with a governance proposal when it's either controversial or somebody is asking for money, i.e. Governance Proposal 95. However, when technical proposals are on the hub, which also matter a lot, i.e. the row upgrade, the majority of the community mostly stays silent. Because of course, discussing whether we should fund an initiative or not is much more tangible for the masses than a technical upgrade. But this is the reason why I ask myself why people should have the right to vote on literally everything while only engaging with a few proposals that might hinder crucial developments or cause toxicity. This is why I personally think that the current form of governance in Cosmos is not ideal. Okay, we have potential advantages and disadvantages on the table. Now let us come up with potential solutions. To be clear, we should definitely stick to the democratic principles of the Cosmos Hub. Major changes, i.e. Atom 2.0, definitely need to be discussed by the community and also should be voted on-chain. The community must have an impact on developments like this, since we were also talking about inflating Atom, and of course, this would have impacted the individual Atom holder directly. Also, upgrades that mark significant milestones on the Cosmos Hub roadmap shall be transparently accepted on-chain, i.e. the row upgrade. But honestly, I don't see the necessity for the Cosmos community to vote on governance proposals like 89. This is why I am so happy that we now have the Atom Accelerator DAO. Get these things done on chain, and besides, let us not create an atmosphere where people are scared of proposing something. And also, I want to highlight, once again, Governance Proposal 69. If all core developers of the Cosmos Hub agree on adding CosmWasm would add more flexibility to the Cosmos Hub and would not represent a huge risk, then yalla, let's do it. We allowed somebody to bribe the voting procedure, even though this has been a crucial decision for the hub's expansion plans. Again, most Cosmos core devs who were building on the Cosmos Hub before most of us even entered the Cosmos ecosystem found that this will be an important step forward. And I believe that these people know much better than most of us do how secure CosmWasm is. Why the hell should we therefore ask people to agree on something even though they do not understand the full scope of the story? I understand that this might sound arrogant, aka let the smart people in the room alone and your opinion does not count. But this is not the case. I'm just saying that the governance hub should stay cleaner, i.e. give DAOs like the Atom Accelerator DAO the power to get spam off the governance hub and bootstrap ideas and decisions that need to be made quickly. Also, give the ICF more power and incubate certain things. For example, why the hell does Confio need to ask for help from the Cosmos Hub? I think we can all agree on how important CosmWasm was for the broader Cosmos ecosystem so far. I don't want to lose them. And please let the people decide who understand the full scope of the story if we talk about governance proposals like Governance Proposal 69. But everything else needs to be decided by the broader Cosmos community. For example, should we fund Neutron, which was Governance Proposal 72? Or should we found the Atom Accelerator DAO, which was Governance Proposal 95? This governance proposal passed now. All these decisions need to be made by the broader Cosmos community. In a nutshell, separate things, keep the governance hub clean, and let the community decide on things where it is either directly affected or where its power really matters. But now let us know what you think of on-chain governance. Do you view it as a feature or as a bug? And do you agree with our take? Comment in the comment section below, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel if you don't want to miss out on any alpha coming from the Proof of Stake world. And with that being said, I hope I will see you the next time.